Right, welcome guys to another video. What I've got today for you is quite possibly one of the most special cars I've driven in a long time, and it's such an awesome car, and they're very rare to get your hands on at the moment. So I feel quite blessed to have actually had this opportunity to drive this car and video this car just for you guys. And it is a Subaru Impreza STI. So this isn't just a normal Subaru Impreza STI by far. It's the Subaru Impreza STI S202. Now, if you know anything about your Scoobies, you're a Scooby nut, and you'll know how rare these cars are and how much of an awesome car they are to drive just straight out of the factory. Bearing in mind this car is, nearly knocking on to nearly 20 years old, they still are way better than a lot of the cars, the performance cars you could buy nowadays. Just the whole general feel of them, the way they drive, the whole suspension setup, the four-wheel drive system, the handling is amazing. They only made them in four colours: blue, white, black and yellow. This is a blue car, so it comes in the famous, the flagship Subaru colours. So what we'll do is I'll take you for a little walk around the car just to show you a few bits and bobs outside the car, and then what we'll do, we'll go for a drive. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Honestly, it's such an awesome car, and if you're a Subaru nut, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel, like the video, share the video, and yeah, give it a thumbs up. It means a lot. It means a lot to us. So help us grow. We've got, like I've mentioned in the previous videos, we've got plenty of other cars to come, plenty of other content for you guys. We'll catch you outside the car. Right then guys, here it is, the Subaru Impreza STI S202 as they're known as. These are quite possibly one of the best Subarus to drive out of the box after the Spec C type RAR. These are raw, they've still got that classic sort of feel to them, and such an amazing experience this car is to drive. Honestly, you won't understand what I mean unless you're a Subaru nut. These cars are just an absolute beauty to drive. And as you can see, this car is completely standard, bar a couple of little minor touches to it, like a radiator grille and stuff, but Samco hoses. But these are this genuine alloy wheels. They're forged lightweight alloy wheels. They come as standard on the S202, and they're quite an expensive item as well. I believe these actual alloy wheels are something around, they're at £4,000 to buy if you can find a set, purely because they're made for the S202 and they're just difficult to get hold of. Anything rare, Japanese performance, is very expensive at the moment. The S202 is based on the Spec C, so you've got no side skirts, you got the actual bespoke wheels, pink suspension. Not that you could probably see this from here, but yeah, pink suspension is standard. They come with the black door mirrors, and with it being a Spec C, it's got the famous Spec C roof vent, which, however small it looks, it actually makes a massive difference. It makes a humongous difference to the amount of wind the car lets in. And again, it's got the carbon fibre spoiler. And the biggest feature of this car, because it's what you actually hear when you're driving it, is this titanium exhaust system. And what a system it is. Honestly, what an amazing system this is. So yeah, this is completely sort of standard looking car, which is the best way to keep these. They're a rare car, and to be fair, if you start messing about with them, they don't generally hold the value. You ruin a lot of things on them, and with this, you want to keep it as standard as you possibly can. And this is quite a tidy example, so I'm kind of like blessed to have actually got the opportunity to drive this. So the interior, again, it comes with black STI stitched bucket seats. These are a bit better than the new age sort of Subarus. They've got stitching, the actual thing on the shoulder supports, and a Momo steering wheel with no airbags. And this one came with the optional STI genome boost gauge, STI genome gauges in the center, and again, this is the passenger airbag. There's no airbag, sorry, and it's just a little STI badge stuck on there. Oh, and you can see over there is the famous JDM flare. Now, they come with a numbered plaque as well, actually, just on the center console there, just above, below your ashtray. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll pop up the bonnet, I'll show you under the hood, and you'll understand what I mean with this thing. It's such an amazing car. There is the famous EJ20 VF34 turbocharger down there somewhere. I mean, somebody, since it was imported from Japan, somebody's actually fitted a few bits and bobs on this car, like the Samco hoses, ultra racing strut race on the back. Again, it's nothing major. It's it's stuff that can actually be replaced, and it doesn't actually affect anything too much, to be fair. The main things are the wheels, the suspension, and the exhaust system. They're the costly bits on this car. And oh, somebody's also fitted these hydraulic bonnets, catch lifters. Saves you having to put the bonnet hook up. And so yeah, what we'll do is we'll go for a little drive. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video of such a rare Scooby. Right then, guys, here we are back in this absolutely awesome Scooby. And if you've driven a WRX and then the next Subaru you drove was an STI, you noticed a massive difference in the actual drive, the feel, the power. The whole actual thing feels very much different to drive. But then you jump into like the new age sort of Spec Cs from an STI, and you can notice the difference. But out of the whole of the actual Spec C and range, and like the special limited edition Scoobies that you could buy, I'd say hand on heart, the S202 is by far the rawest car, and quite possibly like one of the best ones to drive. Because the S203s and S204s, they weren't, if I'm right in thinking, they weren't based on the Spec C chassis. So they don't have that feel. I mean, they're a fantastic car. I've driven an S203 a few years ago, and it was such an awesome car. But that wasn't standard. It was remapped, and it had different exhaust and stuff. And it was a very, very nice car to drive, to be fair. But the S202, I mean, ever since I first drove one a few years back, and I fell in love with these things. These things are an absolute gem of a car to drive. What they've done is, the car weighs around 1,330 odd kilograms. So it's shed quite a bit of weight from a normal STI. And on top of that, they've got bespoke suspension. They've got pink suspension on there, which is adjustable. It's got no airbags in the car. So your steering wheel is obviously without a bag, so is the dashboard, and curtain airbags and stuff. I don't think they were around on Subarus in 2002 anyway. So yeah, and what they've done is they've also, I mean, the weight is reduced. Like I said, it's 1,330 odd kilos, lightened glass, lightened panels. Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, the actual package, overall package, I must admit, honestly, if you've never driven one, and you ever get the opportunity to actually drive one, I know I say this about most of these cars, but please take it up, because they are an absolute awesome car to drive, even being a passenger in. A standard STI, on paper they're down as 276, but I know they are around the 290 to 300 horsepower. But the S202 comes out the factory with 316 bhp. Now, that's a massive improvement. And the only way they've done that is by ECU tuning, and I think it runs a VF34 turbocharger. Single scroll turbo as well, not a twin scroll like the JDM STIs. So the pull on this thing is absolutely awesome, just straight out the box. Don't have to do no mapping, no nothing. Honestly, they are an absolute gem of a car, and I can't emphasize on that enough. Honestly, they're a beauty. So onto the whole drive of it, they feel very, very planted. It's got the Subaru's four-wheel drive system, so you know they live up to their expectations. They are an absolute awesome car to throw about, and the 202 is no different. And I mean the whole thing, the steering wheel's it's in a nice place. It's the whole seating position's perfect, ideal. You're sitting right. It's almost like you are sitting in the car, not on the car. Some cars you sit way too far up, and I know you can adjust the seats, but they're still not that right. Some you sit slightly off center, but the S202, like all Impreza STIs, you sit perfectly fine. The gearbox on it is a short sort of ratioed gearbox. It's a short throw gearbox as well, and it is very precise again. The pedals perfect. Brakes on it, this car's got aftermarket brakes, so it stops on the button. It's absolutely perfect. And I mean, I'll show you. I mean, the whole thing, it's opening up a little bit here, and with it being a JDM car, you still do get that Subaru burble that they are famously, you know, they're known for. The other JDM Subaru Impreza STIs have lost that burble because of the equal length manifolds. The UK cars came with unequal length manifolds, so they had the burble, but the JDMs never. Honestly, these pull like a train. They're very, very strong. Some of them feel a bit quite plain to drive, but no, the S202 most certainly doesn't. What an awesome car to drive this is. What a awesome car. They'll put a lot of cars, performance cars of today, to shame. And this car is what? It's nearly 19 years old. 320 bhp straight out the box, and such an amazing car, such an amazing experience to actually be able to drive this thing. And these things they just make you speechless. That 18 years ago, 19 years ago, they produced a car out of the factory just like this. Such an iconic and amazing car. As you can see, the suspension is quite firm, but that is quite possibly, you know, it adds to the whole benefit of the handling side of things. It makes them handle like they're on rails, quite literally. From first gear now, just. Nearly missed a gear. There's not too many cars that put a smile on your face every single time you're driving. I know the GTR was one of them, but this is most certainly a different kind of special, this car. The thing with the Nissan GTRs, blisteringly fast that was, but the thing, there's quite a few of them around. I mean, this car, there was only 400 produced 18, 19 years ago, and there's only going to be a handful of them still on the UK roads. So to actually be able to drive one is such an amazing experience. Honestly, it's such a blessing, and what a beautiful example this is. It is quite literally just zap, zap, zap through the gears, and it's point to point. Honestly, there's not many cars that will beat it. Thanks very much for watching the video, guys. Subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell notification just so you know when we've uploaded another video. Like, share, all the usual social media things. Check out all the videos that we've uploaded and we will be uploading in the future, and watch out for the next one.